Hey everybody, Philly Film Brothers here to react to the Spider-Man and No Way Home teaser trailer that just dropped, in the
Mhm.
last hour or so. And
It was released on TikTok, right? Like 30 seconds of it this morning.
something like
Oh, did
that.
did
I
did you
saw,
watch the full one when Sony released it?
I did. I watched the legit one because I'm a film purist. And I don't like, you know what, like, because I knew there was going to be cool stuff in this. And I'm like, I don't want to watch the crappy version of that. Like, I don't want to watch that on somebody's flip phone. So,
Yeah, the one that looks like it was shot with like a camcorder in 1995.
exactly. Um, so no, I'm glad I waited, to watch it in HD and on my computer. Like, even the Twitter, the Spider-Man Twitter had posted it, but I couldn't get it in the full, the high quality version. So I went to YouTube because I'm like, when I
Oh, you gotta. I watched it on my Roku TV in 4K, you know, 55 inches.
nice.
Looks awesome.
So, boy, they have really made us wait on this one. I mean, this has been in the making for. This is the longest I think we've gone. The shortest time I think between the first trailer of a Marvel movie and the release. So,
Yeah, I remember, they're definitely. I think Sony plays a huge role in that. I think they don't want to tip their hand too soon. They've still got Venom. They're still trying to figure out what to do with that release date. That's a whole other mess.
yeah,
So I think that certainly played a role in the delay of this one. Plus, it's such a juicy thing that I feel like, it got spoiled on the internet because you can't conceal, you know, certain actors being on set.
yeah. And there's been a lot of spoilers about this, but it's really hard to tell like what is real and what's not real. So I've stopped looking at it. But onto the trailer. What we do know is Doc Ock is back. So we are in the multiverse for real this time,
It's legit. I saw Alfred Molina, we saw the pumpkin bomb, and we heard Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin laugh, which
Right.
I'm actually more excited to see him. He was always my favorite villain.
Yeah. Well, he
My
he's
favorite
so
Spider-Man villain, I mean.
he's so memeable. Like there's so many.
I know.
I mean, he's kind of the Joker of the Spider-Man franchise.
It's like everyone else in that original Spider-Man knew they were making like a superhero movie, but like nobody like Sam Raimi told Willem Dafoe they were making a trauma movie. And it works.
It works. Yeah. So they were very smart, I think, not to reveal too much in this. Like it was just enough. Like,
Yeah, we honestly the biggest shock is the revelation that like this is sort of caused by Peter trying to go back. And I had wondered at the end of Far From Home, where do you go from here where you reveal his identity? Oh, you have him try to undo it,
right.
which raises a couple questions and issues. Number one, I kind of like him in the spotlight. I like how it sort of it takes Peter Parker and turns him into like the modern celebrity, 24/7 internet culture that I think you
Yeah.
could. I think that's an interesting idea to explore. And two, is it Spider-Man who's messing up the multiverse for Doctor Strange to fix, or is it Loki on his show? Because it feels like either one of them was enough to like, be the catalyst for his next movie, the Multiverse of Madness.
That's out after Multiverse of Madness is after this one, right? Was it that's next
Yeah,
year?
so
Okay.
this one's coming out in just a few months, by
Right.
Christmas. Multiverse of Madness is due out in 2022. They were just shooting it. I remember when WandaVision premiered, Elizabeth Olsen was in London. They were shooting
Right.
Multiverse of Madness.
It'd be funny, like, so I don't know how you mess up a spell by talking during it. Like wouldn't like Doctor Strange say, like, all right, Peter, you've got to shut up. Like, it'd be totally silent when I do this. Like, I know it's done
Did
for
did
laughs.
you did you just ask how is it possible to mess up a spell by talking? Do you not recall Harry Potter and the
Oh
Sorcerer's
my
Stone?
gosh. Here we
It's
go.
Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Okay. All
Getting
right.
the wording of a spell is paramount to getting it right.
Yeah, but what I mean is, why is Peter saying something affect the spell when Doctor Strange is doing the spell?
I think a better question is why is Doctor Strange doing like he's still full of himself and reckless to the point that like he's like, yeah, okay, Wong, I won't do it. I won't do it. We're totally gonna do it.
Yeah, that was the only thing that felt really out of character for Doctor Strange. At this
Like
point,
after everything he had been through, like, dude, you remember Thanos? Remember the Infinity? Remember? Or maybe he's just a prankster. I mean, he got Iron Man to sacrifice himself by just doing
right.
so, I don't know.
Yeah, it's I mean, I love the dynamic. Like, I love that this is basically Spider-Man and Doctor Strange the movie. Like, it just seems like he's gonna be heavily involved with it. But the thing is, like, we've never seen a Spider-Man movie like this where, I mean, obviously the multiverse is a big appeal, and I think especially since Into the Spider-Verse, I mean, that, like, if this wasn't a Spider-Verse movie, I think the audience would be really let down, because like it's almost
Oh
like
yeah.
to a fault. Like, people have hyped themselves up so much about this, but aside from that, I think that Spider-Man, Peter Parker dealing with everybody knowing who he is, we've never seen that in the Spider-Man movie before.
That's what I'm most interested to see. But I get the sense from this trailer that's probably only going to be like the first act.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe it's going to go throughout, but then he has to deal with all these villains popping up. But
And I can't wait for a year or two from now when we get to see DC make the exact same movie, but with Flash and all the different Batmans.
yeah. Isn't it funny just how we've gone from, like, you think back to like Batman in 1989 or even X-Men in 2000, and how they really try to be grounded in, I don't want to say they're grounded in reality, but they tried to be a little more realistic, and now it's like, oh, it's the multiverse. Like, it's really,
Because it's gone so mainstream they had to be gritty and realistic to appeal to general audiences. They can go all out now. And
mhm.
especially after the Infinity Saga, where do you go from here? How do you do anything that has any real stakes after you just saved the universe from Thanos? Multiverse is where it's at. Well, forget you saved the one universe. What about all these other universes?
Yeah.
I personally love how that rivalry. It's like, oh, what's that? Marvel's doing Civil War. We're doing Batman v Superman. Oh, what's that? They're doing Spider-Verse. We're doing Flashpoint.
Did they know that though going in? Like, I mean, I don't think they knew ahead of time. Maybe, I'm sure they had
I don't
spies
know.
going back and forth.
I'm sure and it goes both ways because then Marvel's like, oh, they're doing Wonder Woman. Guess we'll finally get around to Captain Marvel like 19 movies into this universe.
Yeah. Wow. And everything that they really botched with the release of Black Widow and all the stuff going on with that. Yeah, but
Yeah,
this
I
looks.
mean, right off the bat, this movie will be more successful if it doesn't end with Tom Holland suing them.
Yeah, right.
But
Oh
again,
man.
this is in Sony's court. It's Disney that Scarlett Johansson is suing. It's Disney that won this movie. You will never see on Disney Plus. You'll see it on Stars because they're owned by Sony.
Until Disney buys Sony. So
That's at least a year or two down the line.
can't wait for the Disney PlayStation. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up, but I'm pretty psyched about it. I mean, this is definitely, I think, the most talked about Marvel movie since Endgame, I would say.
Yeah, just with so much riding on it, with so many different characters we hope to see. Doc Ock's confirmed. Green Goblin is all but confirmed. who else might we see? Will we finally get that shot of the 3 Spider-Mans?
I think we will, because if we don't, people are going to be mad. So, and that is what filmmaking has come to.
Or they could just build it all up and then have, they could cast Tobey Maguire, and then it turns out he's just some guy named Boner. It worked for WandaVision.
I'm not even going to comment on that. So, all right, we're going to wrap that up. Thanks for joining us. We'll, of course, be back to review the movie when it comes out in December, and we'll see you before then. Thanks for watching.
And we're going to review Shang-Chi next.
See you then. Take care.
All right, bye.